I one time had a blue and gold, a French Scotty thing, and the gentleman came out was an older gentleman, and I'll never forget. He came out and he looked across the blue and gold, or the cup pack, and he said, "I need a flag, and I'm getting old. Can somebody bring me a flag?" And one of the Weeblos kids ran over and grabbed the American flag and ran over to him and says, "Stand there and hold the flag for me for a minute, would you?" And then he said, I'm getting old. Could somebody bring me something to drink? And one of the kids ran and got him something to drink and brought it up and stood next to him. He said, I'm thinking I need somebody to help me talk about my future and what's going to happen for tomorrow. Would one of the leaders come up and help me for a minute? And one of the leaders came up there. And then he walked off to the side and he said, "You want to know why to give to Scotty? Right there's all you need. God, country, and helping other people. Represented by the people standing up there." And that's what it teaches me in my book. That's why I believe in Scotty. Why I write a very large check to the Boy Scouts of America in multiple councils, because I believe in the Boy Scouts and what it's done for kids. Last one. Everybody knows what this is? It's a compass. But this is an awfully fancy compass of the ones we had when I was a kid. Ours were just so simple compasses. And Scoutmaster had a game he played in the troop, in which, as a patrol, we would be given a compass and an envelope. And as a patrol, we had to find our way through the woods and find our packs, and then from our packs find our tents, and from our tents find our campsite. And if we were the first patrol to get there and get set up and get everything ready to go, well, then the scout leaders cooked for the whole weekend for us. And they always cooked great, all right? But the whole path was filled with learning things and figuring out the compass and yada yada. Well, being a smart kid that I was at all of 13 years old, I figured I really didn't need a compass to find directions in the woods. I could make it on my own. And so I would tell the patrol leader, "Come on, it's right over there. Come on, I see the map. Let's go." Never did we make it on time. Never. All right? Because I forgot the principles of the compass and what it's all about. Well, I remind people that just as this has points on it, this has points to live by on this one too. This is a compass that guides us from point A to point B. This is something that guides children into adulthood. And I don't know about you, but I think we need a whole lot more adults tomorrow that are going to be learning the lessons of optimism, of self-assurance, of leadership, of giving, of caring, and of making a difference in other people's lives. So when you write your check, as I'll write my check, as Ryan will write his check, as you make your stand up in front of folks and talk about Scotty, don't stand up there and feel bashful about it. You have 102 years of proven track record of what Scotty can do in the lives of children. All you have to do is share it. The rest will happen on its own. 2 pieces of advice for you from having done thousands of Friends of Scotty presentations over the last 36 years. 3 pieces of advice for you. First one, always let the kids be involved with you. Always. When I walk in to make a presentation, I don't pass out a single flyer. If I go to a troop, the patrol leaders pass out the flyers to their parents. If I'm in a pack, the den leaders, not the den leaders, the dinners, the kids with the 2 gold things, they pass them out for me. All right? Because I want the kids involved. I want the kids, mom and dad, to see that their child brought them that flyer. Number 2, I always make sure that somebody in that pack or that troop or that crew is ready to stand up and say, "I believe in the Boy Scouts. You know what I do in this pack, troop, or crew. Here's my check." Because of that mom and dad that's on the bubble, who's maybe not as involved as that person is, they'll sit there and go, "Well, dang. That's one of the choir people doing it. That's one of the leaders doing it. Maybe I ought to join them." It makes a difference. Lastly, I'd never have an adult bring me the check nor the flyer. Guess who brings it back? Their scout. And when they do, I always make sure I have a gift for them. Sometimes it's a pen, sometimes it's something out of one of our old patch boxes from around the office that I'll go and get. Sometimes it's just a piece of candy. But they always leave with my thanks and a note to say, "Tell your mom and dad they just made a difference." And tomorrow's leaders are today's children. Just as important as it is we get them to camp, we got to have a camp for them. And we got to have people there to help make it happen. How many of you have had your children go to Scout Camp before? Either Cub Scout Adventureland or Gerber Scout Camp. Okay? Now look me right in the eye. Now I'll go Boy Scout Camp first because it's more expensive. It's what, $225 or something? I don't know. Do you believe that the $225 we collect per child pays for everything it takes to operate that Camp 365? Who do you think pays for that? Who do you think pays for the bulk of our camperships? The bulk of them. Friends County, particularly the gold units, the units that give at the higher level, not because they have to, but because they want to. Okay? The dollars make it important. Thank you so much for what you do. I appreciate it, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a great thing. If there's anything I can do for you, you know how to reach me, or Ryan does, or one of the